Hi kids, happy Friday. All right, rather than driving you crazy with Unit 9, I thought it would be a good idea to go back and review Unit 4. So please join me with your Our World. Usually we don't need to write on this. Hopefully we can just review and read it. So please turn your book, Our World, to page 62. Now, we haven't read this in a few weeks, so let's go back and look at it again. I'll read it and ask some more questions about it. Normally I would say, if you have questions, raise your hand, but if you raise your hand, I'm not going to see you, so don't do that. All right, so page 62. All right, let's look at it. Earth is a planet that moves around the sun. You know, there are 8 planets that move around our sun. Our sun is a star. There are billions of other stars. The name of our star is Sol, S-O-L. We see this in solar calendar, solar electricity. Solar means from the sun. Second sentence. Other planets also orbit the sun. Orbit means to go around. The moon orbits the earth. The planets orbit the sun. Hundreds of years ago, scientists believed that all the planets and the sun orbited Earth. But we know today that's not true. The center of our solar system is, of course, the sun. And we orbit the sun. We can use the word orbit in other ways. For example, if I say, Cinderella is in Roger's orbit. That means she's crazy about him, so she just follows him everywhere. Of course, that's not true. All right, so let's read the next sentence. The sun and planets make up our solar system. So, of course, there are planets, there are comets, there are meteors, there's our sun. That is our solar system. The sun is a star like the stars you see in the sky at night. Of course, some stars are bigger than other stars. Some are quite small. Some stars have solar systems with planets too. Now, we think almost all the stars have planets too. That is because when the universe was created, a lot of dust was thrown out into space. And then because of gravity, that dust came together and formed stars. So this star and that star and this star and this star, and when it forms stars, some of the dust formed planets. So the dust came together and made a star. And the dust over here came together and made a planet. And some of the dust came together because of gravity, comes together, and made moons. So when the universe was created, stars were created. Now, this is still happening. In our universe, dust is still coming together, and new stars are being born. And stars die. So, somewhere in our universe right now, a star is being born. Dust is coming together. It starts to burn like a fire and make light and heat. And the planets around it are orbiting that sun, that star. And then after a while, that star will lose its power, its energy, and that star will die. So stars are born and stars die. So let's keep reading. There may be another planet out there that has an atmosphere with oxygen to breathe. Now, maybe, probably, because why do I say probably? There are so many stars that to think we are the only star that has a planet with life, well, that's a little crazy. It might be true. I don't know. Maybe there are lots of stars with planets, and those planets have life. Lots of planets have life. We don't know. But so far, all we know is Earth is the only planet we know that has life, right? And we know that we need oxygen to live. Plants make oxygen, and we use the oxygen and make CO2 for the plants. It's a big circle, but that doesn't mean other planets don't have atmospheres. Maybe their atmosphere is some dangerous gas, and if we went there, we couldn't breathe that gas. But maybe aliens, extraterrestrials live there, and they can breathe that gas, but they would die on Earth. Maybe our atmosphere wouldn't be good for them. All right, so you know this, we've talked about this. I just want to remind you of all the vocabulary we've talked about it. Raise your hand if you have a question. Just kidding, don't raise your hand. I'm not going to answer your questions. But let's ask some questions. So, number 4, please answer this question. What orbits the sun? Easy. Number 6, how long does it take the Earth to orbit the sun? Yes, we've practiced this. You should know it. Number 19, please answer this. What kind of power does the sun make? Can you remember this? What kind of power does the sun make? I want to see if you remember the word. Now, also, we have a 12-month calendar. What kind of calendar is that? What is that calendar called? How about number 5? What is that calendar called? If you don't remember, watch the beginning of this video again. And I told you, when something is from the sun, what do we use? What's the word? All right, number 25. May there be another planet out there that has an atmosphere. Now, I asked that question because I want you to answer, yes, there may be. But we wouldn't ask it that way. We would say, is there a planet out there with an atmosphere like ours? And you would answer, there may be. And when you write there may be, did you notice that may be is 2 words, may and be? Good. Number 25, is the sun a star? Number 26, are all stars the same size? Number 27, are stars still being born now? Are stars still being born now? Number 31, is the sun a star like we see in the night sky? Is the sun a star like we see in the night sky? And let's look at number 32. What do we call life from another planet? What do we call life from another planet? Number 22. What does the moon do around the earth? What does the moon do around the earth? All right, look at page 63. Oh wait, no, we haven't finished 62. Look at the blue part, sorry. A star and the planets that orbit around it make up a solar system. Stars and solar systems make up a galaxy. Our galaxy is the Milky Way. It has about 100 billion 100 billion stars, not movie stars. The Milky Way isn't the only galaxy There are more galaxies in the universe than there are stars in the galaxy. So 100 billion, 200 billion, who knows? How many? We don't know. That's why I said who knows. There are too many to count. And many stars are too far away to see. So, number 35. Are many stars too far away to see? Number 37. What do we call our galaxy? Number 1. Is there more than one galaxy? Number 2. What do we call 100 billion stars together? What do we call that? Number 3. What is the Milky Way? Number 17. Is the Milky Way the only galaxy? Is the Milky Way the only galaxy? All right, please help me. Turn to page 63 and let's read this again. A comet is a cloud of rock, ice, and gas that orbits the sun. Really, it's a cloud. It is not really a ball. Sometimes we call it a snowball because it's ice and rocks and gas, but really it's better to think of it as a cloud. Even the book calls it a cloud because you couldn't stand on it because there's gas and rock and snow and ice and maybe some water, and it's just all together because of gravity. And it's flying around space. And when it gets too near the sun, some of it burns away because the sun is hot. And when it gets too close to the sun, some of it burns and it makes a long tail. So comets have tails. You know, if we look at Chinese history, in Chinese history, people wrote books, and sometimes, obviously, wrote lots of books, but sometimes they were said, oh, today we saw a comet in the sky. So we could be sure, because we can know when those comets happened. We know that that comet was in the sky on June 4th, 595, for example. And so we can say, hey, we know this book was written on June 4th in 595 because the person in this book described a comet that he saw. And we can look at the sky and we know how long it takes the comet to orbit the sun, so we can be exactly sure when that person wrote that because he described a comet and we know when that comet happened. So in human history, comets have helped us tell time. Maybe you'll find a painting or a piece of book and they will write about a comet, or they will draw comets in the art, and we know that person saw a comet 500 years ago or 1,000 years ago. So comets have been important in human history. Okay, a comet is a cloud of rock, ice, and gas that orbits the sun. Many Earth years pass in its journey around the sun. Why? Because the Earth's orbit is here, and Jupiter's orbit is much bigger, but a comet's orbit is really big. So it takes a long time, maybe 100 years, maybe 75 years. Some comets take a long time, but they come back and slowly come back around and see us again. All right? Scientists keep data on comets to know when they will appear. That means we can be exactly sure when this comet will come back again. Now, maybe, probably, there are some comets that we have never seen. They are orbiting our sun, but we have only had data for maybe 200 or 300 years. And when we wrote that data down, we haven't seen the comet since. So maybe in some history book in China or in another country, they wrote they saw a comet on July 5th. And we're like, really? We don't know that comet. When will it come back? So maybe we are still waiting for other comets to come back. Why? Because scientists keep data. We know exactly when a comet is going to orbit the sun and when it will be near us again, when we will be able to see it. If it's far away, we can't see it, okay? Next one. Look at the bottom. Think of the many galaxies in the universe. So many. Think of the many stars in each galaxy. Think of the planets that orbit the stars. Do you think that extraterrestrials may live on one of the planets? Many people argue about this question. Argue about is another way to say debate. Now, why did they write this? This whole paragraph, they wrote this because they want you to think. When people say they don't believe in extraterrestrials, they don't believe in aliens, they don't believe in life on other planets. When people say that, scientists, maybe they shake their head. Because scientists want you to think, well, there are so many planets around so many stars and so many galaxies. Do you really think we're the only planet with life? It's hard to believe. Most scientists say, well, there's probably life on other planets. Maybe it's not intelligent life. We talked about intelligent life. But maybe it's just jello, or maybe it's a mouse, or maybe it's just plants or fish in an ocean. But there probably is life on other planets somewhere in the universe. Maybe we won't discover it in my lifetime. Maybe we won't discover it in your lifetime. But I can imagine someday humans will discover life on another planet. Who knows? When that happens, it will be big news, right? Okay, so let's look at the bottom. The sun is one of the 100 billion stars in our galaxy. Only one. And there are 100 billion more. Our galaxy is called the Lindsay Way. Of course, that's not true. You know, it's the Milky Way. Let's look at the book and let's look at the song. We don't usually do this because you know you're in 5th grade. But let's look at page 64. Deep in outer space, let's take a journey past the atmosphere, beyond our solar system, far away from here. So atmosphere, here, they rhyme. We might find a new planet. We might find a new place. We might find things we've never seen deep in outer space. So what rhymes with space? Place. Chorus. So everybody in the back sing. Deep in outer space, who knows what we may find? Deep in outer space, deep in outer space. Okay, I'll stop. All right. Somewhere in the universe, we might find a moon. Where flowers grow, you never know. But I wish we'd get there soon. So what rhymes with grow? No. You never know. But right here on planet Earth, life is all around. Our world is full of color, texture, light, and sound. We can take a journey right outside our door and see the wonder of life on Earth and so much more deep in outer space. They want you to remember something. When people dream about going to outer space, that's wonderful. Someday we will explore the stars. Humans are already going out of our atmosphere. We are going into the solar system, and we have already left. Not people, but our machines, our spacecraft have left the solar system, and they are already going out into space. So someday we will explore the universe. But they want you to remember that on Earth, everywhere you look, there's life. In a rock, underground, deep under the ice, at the bottom of the ocean, everywhere we go, we find life. So life on Earth is everywhere. It's interesting. If that life can survive in very cold places or very hot places, surely life can survive in space, right? All right, let's ask a few more questions. Let's do this. Number 38. Are you excited about finding intelligent life in the universe? Are you excited about finding intelligent life in the universe? Number 36. Would it be interesting to visit outer space? Number 15. Would you like to be an astronaut? Would you like to be an astronaut? Number 10. Would it be dangerous to take a journey past our atmosphere? Would it be dangerous to take a journey past our atmosphere? Let's ask number 11. Is there life on other planets? I want you to answer with might. Answer with might. Is there life on other planets? Answer with might. Number 13. Will it rain tomorrow? I want you to answer with might. Number 15. I forgot the numbers. Number 15. Will you see me in the supermarket? Answer with might. Number 19. Will we have class in 3 weeks? Answer with might. Number 30. Will you go to the beach soon? Answer with might. All right, we'll stop there. Next time I'll try to ask more questions, but I need people to help me check to see who is not writing the comments. Remind your classmates to write the answers to my questions in the comments. Thanks, kids. See you Monday.